it's lovely to be here at Embassy Gardens. So I woke up feeling refreshed and ready to hit Accra again. But before that, I wanted to just get to know my surroundings a bit, check out the facilities at Embassy Gardens. Got out of my bedroom in my one-bedroom studio flat, made myself some coffee that the staff left me, checked out what was happening on the balcony, and looked up to the swimming pool, and just made me want to go and have a swim myself. So I went downstairs to check out the swimming pool. There are smaller ones in each block and a bigger one in the middle, near the coffee shop, and you have the gym on top. It was nice to check it out. I met lots of like-minded young professionals walking around, and now I'm back in the living room at Embassy Gardens, and I'm looking forward to the best day out in Accra. I love to live my best life. That's the whole point of all of this. I'm trying to help you live your very best lives and travel effectively. So I'm at a point where I keep coming back to Accra, and there's new places to see all the time, and I get to do them a lot more effectively. So the plan today I'm super excited to be going to Osu Castle. I've been wanting to go for several trips. Why? Because it's one of the main sort of landmark buildings in Accra. Osu Castle used to be called Christenberg Castle. It was first occupied in the 1500s by the Portuguese, and then in the 1660s by the Danish, also occupied again by the Portuguese, the Akwamu, and the British. Now, in 1960, when Ghana became independent, it was originally the seat of government for the colonial government, but it also became the seat of government for the Ghanaian government itself, that was self-ruling post-1960. This castle, you would know it because it's quite distinctive. It's white, it's big, and it's grand, so I'm really excited. I've seen it in lots of pictures all over Instagram. A lot of foreign dignitaries who visited Accra have visited Osu Castle. It's a must visit because it's such a close ties to the government and what have you. That includes Nixon, Clinton, and Obama. When the Queen came in 1961, shortly after Ghanaian independence, extra rooms were added to accommodate her. Her trip to Ghana can be seen famously in Netflix's The Crown.
I think we both understand the significance of this moment.
Yes.
We're off out! So we're off to Osu Castle now, guys. So we're on a tour now, understanding how the slaves were kept, all the different countries who were, part of the castle's history, who have to build, construct it, and who occupied it, and the handover over the years until it got handed over back to Ghana post-independence, and how it became the seat of government for Ghana. And so, because the seat of government in general from 1902, but then and then later, obviously post-independence in 1960, the government started to be housed here. And it was when, during the presidency of Atta Mills, I believe in 2007, that this no longer became the official home of the government, started to move to Flagstaff House. And certainly by time Mahama was president, and that was in the early 2010s, that's when it officially, power moved away from here in terms of the administrative official office. But up to today, when you walk in, you can see where people would normally go, the reception, to go and visit the presidency and the government. Hi. Nothing special, we're just travel blogging. We're about to roll. It's okay. So I'm back in Accra, and it's just always a good idea to come to the Independence Square. So I'm in the middle of the Independence Square, just in front of the Perpetual Flame and the Unknown Soldier. These are symbols of the fight and the struggle for Ghanaian independence. So this is an area of national significance. We have the High Court over there. We have the Kwame Nkrumah Parker Mausoleum, which you remember we went to as well. And, you know, it's just very important because the fight for independence actually started down the road at the 28 Crossroads, wherein ex-servicemen went to the British to claim, you know, some of their rights and their pay, you know, for fighting for the British, and they were denied. In fact, 3 servicemen were killed. As a result, this led to the independence movement that turned into eventual independence in 1960. And just next to this Independence Square, we have the Independence Arc. It's known worldwide as a symbol of Ghanaian independence, freedom and justice, AD 1957, and obviously the famous black stars, the symbol of Ghana. All Independence Days have been marked here ever since independence every year by the sitting president at the time, as well as inaugurations and big events. Some big artists have performed here, such as Des Moines and Akon, and it's just generally an important place. So we're still here at the Independence Arch, and you know they have lots of events of great significance in the governmental calendar for Ghanaian citizens. So whenever they hold the big events, the president is usually there. Under the black star, you have that white canopy, and he's usually stood there giving his speeches, and just generally that's where he would be during the course of the big events. So Ghana continues to attract lots of tourists, but also, diasporans, children of Ghana who live abroad. And I bumped into 2 lovely Ghanaian, foreign-based people here today. So we have Delali and Anna. Lovely to meet you.
You too.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So what brings you here today?
So we've actually been coming to Ghana every single year since we've been kids, but specifically this time our brother's actually getting married, so we're here to plan a wedding for him.
That's lovely, very sweet of you.
Yep.
And so Anna, I think you come back regularly?
Yeah, all the time. I actually came back twice last year.
Wow. So what brings you back? I mean, you could go to Cancun, you could go to the Caribbean.
Well, I love Ghana. This is my culture. This is my home. There's nowhere else I would rather be.
As they say, home is where the heart is. So.
Absolutely. So what are you looking forward to this trip, and what advice can you give to other people who want to come to Ghana?
So I'm looking forward to the tourist places. Like, I know it's cliche, but we like going to the beach, like all the restaurants, trying the local foods and everything. For advice, I would just say stay vigilant, but Ghana's a very safe country. So, just keep your eyes open and try to have fun.
Great advice. And yourself, Anna, any parting words?
I would just say thank you for having me. And if you're thinking of traveling to Ghana, definitely come. It's the place to be. It's the motherland. I love it.
Absolutely. So on that note of what Anna is saying, everyone around the world knows that Ghana is so hot right now. Every Christmas year of return gets bigger all the time. The networking, the bars, the nightlife, everything is incredible. So thank you, Mandase.
Thank you.
So we're here in front of the Independence Arch. It is the symbol of the fight for independence and the celebration of Ghana's independence in 1960. So obviously lots of events led up to it, and it's represented up here just behind us. 1957, freedom and justice says it all. And obviously the black stars at the top, the symbol of the national strength and unity, the black star. You can't come to Accra without coming here, driving by here, or taking the obligatory Instagram photo. I'm glad to be back here since I was here last. And yeah, signing off now. We're gonna go and take some pictures upstairs. I've never been up to the top of the arch. So at the top of the Independence Arch, we can see a lot of the big landmarks in Accra. This is the Accra National Stadium. You have the Court of Justice over there. It has the coat of arms of the country. You also have the Convention Centre over there. That's the Convention Centre. And yeah, a great view of the square itself, just from an elevator point. So yeah, it's really cool to get a picture with the black star. You can give me my Gucci bag now. I saw House of Gucci on the plane. Father, son, and House of Gucci. It was great to come back to the Independence Square and the Independence Arch. I seem to always come there every trip to Accra because it reminds you of exactly where you are, the land of the Black Star. So it's always great to put into context the fact that Ghana led the independence movement, you know, in Africa, certainly in West Africa. They took the lead of emancipating themselves from British rule and being ruled by the Queen and whoever she put as the leader, their leader, in Ghana. So essentially, it was great to just remember the fight for independence and the struggle, and all the history behind that. So for the very first time, I went to the top of the the Independence Arch. You get a great view, and it's just a quintessentially Ghana thing to do as a tourist. And the mandatory Instagram shot, which I have already, I got another one, which never gets old for me. So after that, we went to Osu Castle, rich culture, which we went through already, and so it was nice to have put everything into context. We had a really good guide who told us, everything about the place, such as the underlying history, the Danish rule and ownership and occupation of the castle, the Portuguese one, the slave trade era, the British occupation of Osu Castle, taking us into obviously independence and how it became the seat of the government. So it was good to go through everything. A lot of people go to Elmina Castle to understand slave history, but Osu Castle actually has a lot of information as to the slaves that once were occupied, the slaves that once lived there, who came from the north of Ghana. They were moved, to Osu Castle. They were kept in inhumane conditions and basically treated like objects, branded, very hot iron, and then kept in very dark, cramped conditions where they would pass waste and everything. And so it's another quite important place to understand the history of Africa, slavery, but also trade and our emancipation.